Hello, my name is Raina Velarde, and I'm the Director of Individual Events at Cal State University Long Beach. Welcome to the Jack Howe 2014 Judges Training video. Throughout this video, I will go over the different events that the Jack Howe offers, the times for each of the events, and I'll leave you with some tips and suggestions to help you get through your Jack Howe Memorial 2014. The Jack Howe Memorial Tournament is one of the largest tournaments throughout the United States. We service over 1,300 students, along with parents, coaches, and friends. You are definitely a qualified critic. As decision makers, you are by definition qualified, as long as you keep an open mind and know what is presented in front of you instead of bringing in your own personal beliefs or biases to the round. But remember, by definition, as the judge, you are right. If in any event that you have any student problems or arguments, be sure to be polite but yet firm. You can say something like, "My decision is made and final. Thank you for your thoughts, but they're unwarranted, and have a nice day." A couple of tournament etiquette items that I'll go over with you. Don't let the kids know how they're doing. That's what your ballot's for. So don't verbally tell them, yes, you won the round, or no, you didn't quite do so well. Make sure that your cell phones are silenced. Make sure that means that they're not on vibrate. Either off or on silent is preferable. We don't want any extra noises or sounds disrupting the students as they perform. Please watch this performance respectfully, as you would want someone to watch you. Please be respectful of them. Please give constructive criticism on the ballot. Less negative things and more things that they did well, and then constructively tell them how they could make their speech better. Please do not give the high school students your phone numbers. Don't talk to them inappropriately, and keep in mind that along with the students, their coaches also read their ballots. Next, I'm going to go over time signals. Time signals will be important in rounds that you watch for debate, extemporaneous speaking, and impromptu speaking. Those all have time signals, so I'm going to go over those with you now. Usually you'll have each minute 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This signifies that there are 30 seconds left in the round. If you prefer, this means 15 seconds, and then you can count down how many seconds they have left, all the way to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and this means that they're out of time, and the speaker will know that they're done and that they should sit down and the next contestant should be ready. Some of the debates also have preparation time in between. You will keep track of this preparation time. Most of the debaters will also keep track of their prep time, but it's important that you do, so that in the game of fairness, so that you know exactly who's taking how much time during the rounds. They will sometimes ask if they could take prep time, and it'll sound something like, "Judge, may I please take 1 minute of prep time?" And then you'll count it out: 30 seconds used, 45 seconds used, 1 minute used. Would you like more prep time? They'll either say no and begin to speak, or they'll say yes, and you will continue to take time. During debate, you are allowed to cut them off at the end of their time. They have very strict time limits, so once they're at the end, when you show them 10 seconds down, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, give them a few seconds to finish their sentence. But once your fist is up and you're showing them that there's no more time, when they're done with the last sentence, they should no longer be able to speak. You can do things like clap for them. You can say thank you. We will now introduce the next speaker. Any of those things will work. If they go over time in other individual events, you will write it down on the ballot and make note of it in the round. And I'll go over that more specifically when I get into the individual events. At the beginning of a round, you're going to be given a ballot. You will take that ballot to the room, and you will watch either a debate or a performance by the students. Once you are done, you will fill out the ballot by yourself. Please don't ask other people their opinion on the round. This is solely based on your decision. After you fill out the ballot, you'll turn it in to ballots in, and as quickly as possible. The sooner you get this ballot in, the sooner we can tabulate the results and get the next debate round or IE round off quickly and efficiently. The faster you get it in, the faster we can tabulate, the faster the tournament runs. When you watch a debate round, the students may ask you, what is your judging paradigm, or what is your judging philosophy? In debate rounds, you can be clear and honest with the student. Perhaps you would say something like, I am a parent, I am here to judge for my student's team. Please speak slowly and clearly. Do not use jargon that you don't understand. And that's it. And the student basically wants to know, what is your background? Do you have experience in debate? Or are you new to the debate activity? So that they can better arrange how they are going to debate in front of you. If the student then speaks quickly, inarticulately, you can't understand them, you can speak to them while they're speaking in the round. Remember, this is only for debate. So you can say something like speed, clear. Those words signify to the debater that they are going too fast. Remember, it is the debater's responsibility to acclimate their debate to you, not you to acclimate to them. So if the if one debate team is speaking too fast and you clearly understand the other team, they listen to you, you would by default choose the team that you could better understand. There are a few types of debate that we offer at this tournament. The first one that I'm going to go over is Lincoln-Douglas. Lincoln-Douglas, or LD debate, is a one-on-one debate under a value resolution. Resolved, a just society ought to presume consent for organ procurement from the deceased. Resolved, a just society ought to presume consent for organ procurement from the deceased. Your affirmative will uphold the resolution. The negative will try to prove them wrong. When you get this debate, the debates will be double-flighted. That means that you will watch one debate, 1 versus 1, they will leave, and then a second set of debaters will walk in, and you will evaluate the second set. Then you'll take both rounds and take it back to ballots in so that you can then get another ballot. So make sure that when you get both ballots that you remove the staple and separate them. Check names to ensure that you are watching the correct debate, and then start with round 1, then dismiss them and start round 2. Sometimes the second round debaters will show up a little early, so make sure again that you have the correct debaters debating in front of you. The times for Lincoln-Douglas are as follows. Speaker 1 on the affirmative will speak for 6 minutes. Then the negative speaker will have 3 minutes of cross-examination questions. Then they will get the chance to speak for 7 minutes. Then the affirmative will have 3 minutes to ask questions. Then the affirmative will speak for 4 minutes. Then the negative for 6. The affirmative for 3. Anytime before a constructive debate, so anytime before the last 2 speeches, the students are allowed to use prep time. And I believe that's actually for every debate, my apologies. Before each speech, the debater can take up to 3 minutes total. So they can take 1 minute, then 1 minute later, then their last minute before their last speech. The last 2 speeches should not have any new arguments. Those are rebuttal speeches, and new arguments are reserved for the first constructive speeches. The next type of debate we offer is 2 versus 2. This is policy debate, and the resolution is resolved. The United States federal government should substantially increase its non-military exploration and or development of the Earth's oceans. Again, there will be one side that will argue and prove the resolution to be true, and then the negative side that will argue that the resolution is false. In this debate, you are allowed to ask to see the students' evidence. They should have substantial amounts of evidence, and that's the key to this debate, is that they are trying to out-research the other team. These times are a little bit more simple. For the first constructive speeches, each speaker is allowed 8 minutes to speak. So in between each 8-minute speech, the other team is allowed to ask 3 minutes worth of cross-examination questions. So affirmative speech, 8 minutes. 3 minutes of cross-examination. Negative, 8 minutes, 3 minutes of cross-examination. Then 8 minutes again, 3 minutes cross. 8 minutes again, 3 minutes cross-examination. Then, after the final cross-examination, each member is allowed to give 5 minutes of a rebuttal. So then we have 5, 5, 5, 5, and that's the end of the debate. Each team is allowed to take 8 minutes of prep time total within this debate before any of their speeches. Then we have parliamentary debate. Parliamentary debate is also 2 versus 2, just like policy, but unlike LD, which is 1 versus 1. In these rounds, the resolution will be different for every single round that they are competing. In this debate, the resolution will be announced before the round. They will have time to prepare the round, and then they show up at the debate to debate in front of you. There is no evidence in this debate, and there is no cross-examination. In parliamentary debate, there's a few things that are involved. You will notice that the students will knock on the table, or they'll say, "Hear, hear." That means that they agree with the speaker, and that is very much allowed. They can also heckle the speaker by saying, "Shame." This should not get out of hand, and as the judge, you can tell them to, you can gesture to say, "Calm down," which it could get out of hand in some of the rounds, but most often they are just going to use "shame," say it very quietly and under their breath, and that is legitimately okay. The rebuttal speeches, there is no new arguments allowed, just like the other debates. In parliamentary, there is points of order. Points of order are allowed in the rebuttal speeches if the speaker believes that the debater speaking, if the debater believes the speaker is making new arguments, they can call it out. You can simply say, "I will take that under consideration," and you will use that to evaluate the debate at the end. You do not have to make a ruling on it right then and there, but you will stop the time if a student in rebuttals calls a point of order. Points of information are allowed during the debate's speech. So after the first minute and before the last minute of the round, the other team is allowed to raise their hand or say "on that point" or "point of information," and they can ask the other team a question about their speech. The speaker may yield to the question. They may say "not at this time." They may say "at the end of this argument." Any of those responses are fine and legitimate. For parliamentary debate, the proposition speaks for 7, then the opposition for 7, then prop for 7, opposition 7, and then rebuttals are 5 minutes and 5 minutes for a total of 40, which will be public forum. Public forum is similar to the show Crossfire, where students will allow to crossfire questions at each other. This year's resolution, sports in the United States. And the time frames for public forum will be a 4-minute first speaker. The first speaker does not necessarily have to be for the resolution. They can choose or flip sides in some instances. More direct directions will be available on your ballot. The times again, 4 minutes for the first speaker, then 4 minutes for the second speaker's constructive speeches. Then there will be 3 minutes of cross-firing questions between the two speakers. Then the second speaker gets to do a rebuttal for 4 minutes. Then the second speaker gives a rebuttal for 4 minutes. Then another 3-minute crossfire questioning between those two. Finally, there will be a 2-minute summary